In the darkness.
And I don't have a mic, so I'm going to hold my beer instead.
Go.
So the sun comes bearing through a window, and I snap to awakeness, realizing that this headache in my head is throbbing like nobody's business. I have a vague recollection of being thrown out of a bar after drinking a lot of bourbon with some coworkers the night before meeting with the CEO. But the tape stops about there. Now, many of you who have drank to excess remember when the tape stops. It's an uncomfortable, unfortunate situation, but you can deny every story that happens thereafter. Unfortunately, in this case, I could not. My eyes flick open, and I'm staring at a pink dollhouse 3 stories tall. It's at this point I realize I am no longer in a hotel room, as I should be. I peel my face from the leather couch, feeling the imprint of where I had fallen asleep peacefully the night before, pick myself up, and it's at this point I realize I am no longer wearing the clothes that I was wearing when I peacefully fell asleep on said couch. I don't know where I am. I have a meeting in 45 minutes with the CEO and 30 of my closest colleagues, including my boss. I stumble awake, move myself to the refrigerator, because the first thing you do when you don't know where you are is find something for your headache, and then start questioning where you are. I drink the Gatorade in the fridge, not knowing whose house it is or whose clothes I'm wearing, and then start seeking the truth. This consists of looking at pictures on the wall and recognizing no one, shuffling through the desk that I find in a random office and suddenly finding a diploma which contains the name of a coworker. This is good because it's a coworker. The bad news is I happen to be in somebody's house I don't know. I'm not wearing my own clothes, and the coworker in question is no longer in the house with whoever owns the pink dollhouse. I find a bag of clothing at the bottom of the stairs. It appears to be mine. It is soaking wet. I do not know how it got soaking wet. I just know that the clothes that I'm wearing now are likely because the clothes that I was wearing are soaking wet. There is no pool in the backyard, so this must have come from someplace in the evening. I put on the shoes, which are also soaking wet. I leave the sweatpants and t-shirt that I'm wearing that are not mine on. And then I walk out into the blaring sunlight, now 30 minutes before a meeting with the CEO. I don't know where I am. I now realize I no longer have my wallet or my cell phone. This is bad. I then look around seeking signs of where I am. Mostly row homes, okay. I don't think I got in a car for a very long period last night, but the bourbon would tell me that there's probably a 75 or 80 mile radius from wherever I got into whatever vehicle I got in. I recognize a building in the distance that looks vaguely like the hotel that I should be staying at. I don't know how far it is, but I don't have a cell phone or a wallet. No cab will take me there, so I begin my long, arduous walk to the hotel. About 30 minutes later, now officially late for the meeting with the CEO, I arrive at the hotel, so it couldn't be more than a couple of miles away. I am sore because my shoes were quite wet. I, at this point, realize I no longer have a key to the room that I need to get into where any of my clothes might be stored. This is also bad. I proceed to a payphone. I realize I have no change. I proceed to the front desk, and I say, please, I've been staying here for 5 weeks. Can I use the phone? They're very nice to me. They charge me only $3 a minute. I call my own phone number. Seems like a logical thing to do. And I hear a hushed voice. Rich! Kristen! I recognize that voice, Kristen. She's like, I can't talk now, the CEO's on. By the way, your wife's been calling all morning. Click, and then she's gone. It's at this point I realize I no longer have the keys to the rental car that is in the basement of this vehicle as well. And so I ask for a room key. They say, do I have my license? I say, I've been staying here for 5 weeks and you just charged $3 to my room. Give me the key. And I go upstairs and I shower, and I may have thrown up in the shower, indicating that the bourbon I drank was perhaps drank after I lost the tape. And I managed to get up into the room, pack up all my things, get down into the lobby again, and then have to call Avis, because since I don't have my wallet or my phone or my rental car keys, I need some way to get myself home. So I call Avis. Avis says it'll be 3 hours for us to recreate a key and drive it up to you. At which point I've blown the whole morning. I think I've lost my job. I get in my car and I drive home. Monday morning comes along and Kristen asks me to come see her. Now Kristen is my subordinate, not my boss. But my boss, in a fit of laughter, sent my subordinate to reprimand me. And she says, "Rich, John made me say you have to promise never to do it again." And I look her dead in the eye and I say, "Kristen, promise never to do what?" Thank you.